And we are live. What's going on, YouTube Live? It's your boy, Billy Rowe. Today is Wednesday. I'd like to welcome you to the first row. If it is Wednesday, you should already know what that means. It's time for your Wednesday word. That's Wednesday. Word. Snatched the earbud out of my ear. That's how excited I was. Word. Jumping straight into it. Tonight's topic is be intentional. Now, as always, with every topic that I always like to give what I mean by the topic. So what do I mean when I say be intentional? What I mean in the simplest, shortest terms is instead of going with the current, instead of going with the flow, make up your mind, choose a direction, and head in it. Be intentional and follow a purpose and head in that direction intentionally, because that's the purpose that you see for your life. So with that, I came up with 4 tools tonight that I want to share with you that I feel will help you in becoming more intentional in your life. So the very first tool that I came up with in being intentional was hold yourself accountable to your words. It could have stopped at hold yourself accountable. But I feel like in life, we actually do hold ourselves accountable to some things. But in many times in life, I have seen either with myself or with others, people who use their words and say what they're going to do or what they would have done or what they could do and all these different things. They sell what we used to call in my neighborhood wolf tickets. That's from Peter Wolf, if you know that story. Wolf. So they cry all this wolf, the things that they're going to do, and then they don't do anything. So the first tool being hold yourself accountable to your words is what it does is when you're able to start holding yourself accountable to your words, when you're able to hold yourself accountable to your words, what that allows you to do is it allows you to say, okay, I've said this out loud. This has come out of my mouth. And I've heard that this was a thought that I actually had, something that I really wanted to do, something that I really want to accomplish. And now that I've put that out there, what am I going to do to make it manifest into reality? So the first tool being about being accountable to what you say, about what you said, what your words are. Part of that is you being able to hear it. But the other aspect of that is having a trusted audience that you can share those words with so that people can actually help hold you accountable to the things that you say you want to do. So let's say I want to go to college. I'm 38 years old. I want to go to college. And I say, yeah, I'm going back to school to get my education. And I tell people this that I trust and that care about me and that I care about. Hey, I'm going to go back to school and get my education. I'm going to go back to school and get my education. Well, if I'm not going to school to get my education, those people that I have trusted with this information, they can kind of help me be intentional about going back to school by saying, hey, look, so did you look at the classes that are coming out next semester? What classes are you taking next semester? Asking me things that will help hold me accountable. So there's 2 reasons why I say be accountable to your words. 1, so you can hear what you're saying, hear your thoughts, hear what your intentions are for success. 2, so that other people can hear that you trust, that love and care about you. I'm always going to say that trust and love and care about you because not everybody is in it for you to win it. So those people can hear about it and help to also push you forward and hold you accountable. That is the very first tool about being intentional. Really, it's accountability, but accountability more than just what you say you want to do or what you can do, accountability to what you're actually going to do. The second tool that I came up with was create balance. Now, when I first started writing out this tool about creating balance, I actually first put find balance. But then when I started thinking about the difference between the word of creating something and finding it, when you're finding something, it means you're looking for it, you're seeking for it, but you're kind of at the mercy of a little bit of chance if you find it or not. So let's say I want to go fishing. This is probably a really good example because this happens to me quite a bit. I want to go fishing because I want to find fish. So I'll go to a lake that I know has fish in it, and I'll go and I'll throw and cast and cast and cast. And I can actually fish all day long, but not find any fish. Now, same thing. If I am a fish, and I decide, you know what, it's spawning season and I want to create some fish, I go into the little spawn dance or whatever I may do as a fish because I'm a pretty cool dancer. So I got my little spawn dance on. I do my spawn dance. I attract a mate or a mate attracts me, whatever it may be. And then I go and I'm able to reproduce and create fish. So I was very intentional with the word create in creating balance. Balance is something that allows us to minimize the amount of distractions that we have. So if we think about being unbalanced, actually, I have a bad right ankle. So I dislocated my ankle a couple of years ago. And every once in a while, if I'm overactive on it, it gets kind of inflamed and it causes me to walk with a limp because of the fact that there's pain in my right ankle. And so that distraction of the pain causes me to adjust the way that I'm walking into a very unbalanced manner, which is not healthy for my left knee. So I have a left knee issue now because I have been out of balance in a lot of my walking while I was working on recovering from my ankle injury. So the first thing the second tool is create balance because of the importance of balance, not even just in the physical state, but the importance of balance in the, I guess we'll call it the metaphysical state, where you may have something that you are wholeheartedly intentioned on accomplishing, a certain level of success, a certain level of fame, or whatever it may be. And if you overexert energy into I just want to be caught up in fame, I want to be this, I want to be that, and that's all I care about, what's going to happen is you're creating an imbalance. And though you may be moving intentionally towards something, you might be also neglecting other important areas. There was a very, very good story that I heard a couple of years back, and it was talking about a stable hand who was responsible for cleaning up after the horses after horse races. And the stable hand was cleaning up like a stable, and one of the horses was sitting in the stable, and the horse owner asked the stable hand, said, "Hey, do you know what that horse has on its head?" And the horse, I don't know if you've ever been to a race, but the horse have these things on their head that kind of guard their eyes and keep them focused in one direction. And so he's like, "No, I don't know what those are." He's like, "Well, those are called blinders. Those blinders help the horse when the horse is racing and there's horses on the right and horses on the left and the crowd going wild. The blinders help the horse focus on the race, focus on running straight forward." And so he was like, "Oh, okay, well, that's pretty cool." But then he says, those blinders are great for horses in races. However, when it comes to us as humans, blinders are not good for life. So that's what creating balance is about. It's about removing the blinders so that you have a balanced approach to life, that you're giving the appropriate attention and energy to the things that you want to be intentional about, that you want to achieve, that you want to seek after, but also giving the appropriate energy and attention to the other things in your life that are important, just as much important as the thing that you may be seeking to attract or obtain. So that's the second tool is creating balance. Sorry, I missed my step on my notes. I thought I had them highlighted, but I didn't. The third tool that I came up with was don't wait for accidental success. Man. So the best way to put this is, if you make purpose, or your purpose specifically, if you make your purpose the epicenter of your actions, then you'll be running to the things that you want to accomplish in life. You'll be running to the things that you desire to achieve in life. You'll be running to the relationships that you really want to invest in life when you're making your purpose that catalyst, or that springboard into the things that you really want out of life. The thing is that a lot of us, we tend to wait, and we tend to hope, and we tend to say, okay, well, eventually everything will come downstream to me, and I'll just wait down here. I'm not going to worry about hiking up the hill to get to the top of the hill. I'm not going to worry about swimming upstream to get to the beginning of the stream. I'm just going to wait here, and whatever comes down the stream, I will accept. Well, if you sit at the bottom of the stream and you wait for something to come to you, what you are getting is the crumbs of the current. The crumbs of the current can be twigs. The crumbs of the current can be rotten berries, dead animals. All kinds of things can come in the crumbs of the current. And so if you really want the more beautiful things, and I don't mean just like, physically beautiful, oh, she's beautiful, he's beautiful. I mean more like the more substantial things in life, then you have to be willing to take the journey. So I currently live in Utah. Utah is a very cold place in the winter. We've got a lot of snow this winter. However, in the spring, it's still pretty chilly outside, but all that snow starts to melt. And when the snow starts to melt, all the waterfalls start flowing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful water. However, You can't stand at the bottom of the stream or the end of the stream where right before it becomes dry ground and say, ooh, I really want to see those waterfalls. No, you might have to take a 2-hour hike to get to a waterfall. But when you get there, the journey is worth it. And a lot of times for our lives, just like how a waterfall, the view of a waterfall, the serenity of a waterfall can be worth it to get to that part of nature, the journey is worth it. So are the things in our life that we may have to journey to and with intentional action to get to. We may have to journey to those things, but those things, when we get there and we arrive, the serenity, the peace, the stability that those things will provide or can provide, that is definitely worth the journey. So that's the third part is don't wait for accidental success. Don't wait for success to just kind of run into you. Make sure that you're putting yourself in the position to go and get it every single time. The fourth and the final tool when it comes to being intentional is don't allow doubt to freeze your progress. Man, I know I wrote that tool for the Wednesday word, but I struggle with that because for me, even in the YouTube atmosphere where you may see something that you think is great and phenomenal. And I feel like a lot of the content that has been produced on the First Row has been very growth inspiring. And I don't just mean from the Wednesday words. I mean, all the content that is being produced here, I feel like it is very growth inspiring. And so I may feel that way. However, sometimes what I consider to be like some of the best videos, in my opinion, don't get any type of traction and they don't resonate with people. And so it can be easy to say, oh, well, maybe if I thought that was good and nobody else thought it was good, or nobody else seems to be vibing with that, then maybe what I have to offer is not of value. And so you stop. And actually this happened before, I forget when it happened, maybe like back in August or something of last year, where I was creating content and then I just stopped and I allowed doubt to hinder or cause progress to yield and say, you know what, I don't know what content I need to produce. I don't know what voice I need to be for people who are like me, who are looking to grow and looking for solutions. I had kind of lost a little bit of my own identity and allowed my progress to say, you're in doubt. Because you're in doubt, don't move forward. Stay right where you're at. Well, the problem with staying where you're at when you're in doubt is that you're going absolutely nowhere. And if we get back on that river and you stop paddling, if you were paddling upstream, guess what? Now you're floating back downstream. And if you wait long enough, you'll be right back at the beginning where you started at in the first place. So that's a really important one for me. The other aspect of that I really want to make sure I pull out is the luck complex of allowing doubt to freeze your progress. If you're allowing doubt to freeze your progress, what that also means is you're not preparing for opportunities. So in my life, I've been told many times that, oh, Billy, you're lucky for the position that you're in, or you're lucky that this is the type of work you do and you don't have to do X type of work. I've been told that a lot of times, but that luck complex, you can only execute within luck if you are prepared when the luck strikes. So it'd be like, hey, if it started raining liquid gold and I don't have anything to catch it or to contain it in, then guess what? I could have been a billionaire with the gold that came out of the sky, but unfortunately it's all fallen to the ground and absorbed into the ground now. And so that opportunity is gone. So the same way that luck may seem like luck, really understand that it's the willingness to move forward in the face of doubt, which is really overcoming your fears and facing your fears. That willingness to move forward and continue to prepare for things that you don't see yet, or prepare for things that you're unsure about how they're actually going to get there, or how you're going to actually get to them and how they're going to actually get to you. That willingness will make you more so prepared when that opportunity that you were intentionally seeking strikes. So really quick to go over, hey, what's going on, Zoe? Really quick to go over the tools that I shared for this evening. The very first tool being hold yourself accountable to your words. Let's not throw any more empty words out there, especially in the world of internet thugs where people talk all this stuff about what they would do, can do, will do. Let's be more focused on the words that we are actually going to be actionable on. Number two is create balance. Remember, not find balance. Don't worry about trying to find it and searching it out, but creating balance, creating something that is going to keep you at an equal temperament. And I don't mean necessarily your behavioral temperament, but an equal temperament when it comes to seeking and going to get the things that you want to get out of life and being able to maintain and keep healthy the things that you care the most about in life that you have currently. The third tool being, don't wait for accidental success. Again, I'm just going to say it like this one more time. If you wait for the current to come to you at the down part of the stream, you get the crumbs of the current. So don't wait for the crumbs of the current. Don't wait for the accidental success. Go out and get it. And last but not least, number 4, don't allow doubt to freeze your progress. Don't doubt yourself. Guess what? Whatever you're at right now, you have progressed to this point. There is nothing that can keep you from progressing any further but yourself. I don't care what obstacles the world throws at you, what society throws at you. Your ability to move in the face of doubt will be the end all be all decider of whether you achieve your successes or you're stifled, or I think that's it, not stipend, stifled in your failures. So as always with every Wednesday word, I like to share a personal story about me that kind of helped me think about this topic. Now, initially what I was going to share was about my desire and my drive to move up professionally in the organization that I work for currently. But then last night we had an intersession. An intersession was called Resolving Mommy and Daddy Issues. And so intersessions for me always lead to after conversations with other people who either watch them live or on the panel. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine who was telling me like, yeah, you know, I've noticed in your interactions with your son that some of your daddy issues create this breach of connection with my son. And so it got me to thinking like, okay, well, how can I apply that? How can I be more intentional? Because I'm very intentional about fatherhood, but I had to kind of sit back and really ask myself, well, what is it about fatherhood that I'm intentional with? Well, I have 3 biological sons, 2 godsons, and 2 goddaughters. So I'm hyper focused on manhood, hyper focused on being providers, and hyper focused on raising and helping to raise independent young ladies. So because I'm focused on that, hey, what's going on, Antoine? But because I'm focused on that so much, it took me hearing somebody else who has heard my words about the importance of fatherhood, the importance of manhood. It took me hearing somebody take those words and say, hey, I know that you really are big on fatherhood and you're big on manhood and you're big on being a provider, but you have to get more involved in your son's life when it comes to understanding him as a person, understanding who his friends are, understanding what his likes are, like beyond like the simple things, oh, he likes basketball or he likes video games, but really getting to know what he likes and being engaged with him. And so it got me really thinking about the tool, I think it was tool number 2, about creating balance. I was and currently am out of the balance with being intentional with my son. I'm very structured and disciplined on, you need to get your schoolwork done. You need to have your clothes out the night before. You need to get your lunch together. You need to take a shower. You need to do these things. You need to do this. I'm militant when it comes to those things. However, just simply having conversation where we can sit and we can talk and we can vibe and interact. I struggle with those things, and I probably struggle with them because of my relationship with my father. So here I am being intentional, like, hey, here's how you be a man. Conversations where my father and I didn't have. I'm super intentional on how to be a man. However, I'm not super intentional on, and here's how you display compassion. Now, am I a compassionate person? Does all my sons and my daughters see me compassionately? Yeah, they see parts of my compassion, but I can be better at displaying that compassion with them. So overall, this is one where I'm currently working on it, a work in progress. I tell you on the first row, I'm transparent. I'm not going to tell you I got everything down because I don't. But it's something that I am willing to work on. It's something that I have to figure out how to create that balance and not go from being the militant dad to going to be the non-militant, non-parental guidant parent. So I have to figure out what that balance is. Part of that will be probably having conversations with my son and seeing what that balance looks like to him so that it can be intentionally something that I am working for and striving for. So as always, like I said, it's not that I always have everything together. These topics speak to me as I hope they speak to you. But we'll see. If I get an opportunity to and I find some things that work and I gain some traction, maybe I'll do a revisit to this particular being intentional and just do a quick little shout out on how the progress is coming with what I'm working on with my son and my sons. Other than that, I thank you guys for watching for the Wednesday Word. The next live show that will actually be on the First Row will be Tuesday, March 5th at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will be a First Row Intersation, which will be a twist actually this time. It's going to be the First Row Intersation, and the Intersation's name is First Row Behind the Grind with Billy Rowe. So this will be the actual first time that I will not be the moderator of the Intersation, and I will actually be the guest. So hoping to shed some light for you guys on what it is that I'm looking for with the First Row Network, what my vision is, what I want us all to try to get out of this, not just you guys, but also me included. And really what type of subscriber and audience base that I'm looking to build and content that I'm looking to create over the years to come. So with that, if you have not already, click the subscribe button, click the bell so you're notified when we're live next time. If you're watching via the replay, I'm happy to engage with you in the comments for up to the first week while this video is new. After that, we move on to the next video and the next content that's up and running. But for the two people who are at least rocking in the chat, Zoe and Antoine of Black Heights, I appreciate you guys rocking with me. For all those who are watching live and not saying anything or watching via the replay, if you like this video, share it. If you share it, like it. We're always happy to engage with you in the comments and in the live chat. Other than that, I thank you for sitting with me on the First Row tonight. One love, peace, and God bless.